Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is Champions League watch-along night. It's Leipzig against Liverpool, it's Bayern Munich against Barcelona. There are other games going on. It was fantastic last night, wasn't it? And I'm hoping that tonight it will be fantastic too. Also got a very exciting twist on either or to bring into the show tonight. Obviously, we're all about the football, but we do like a bit of a chat beyond that. And we will certainly be doing that as well. So, welcome to the show. The team news are flying around the screens for you. It is, of course, Champions League night, and we have had some fixtures already. Celtic drew 0-0 in Atalanta. How do you get beat 7-1 by Dortmund? Then draw with Atalanta, which is what Arsenal did. Well done, Celtic. That's all I'm going to say. Brest, well, we've had a bit of Brest and we've had a bit of Leverkusen because that finished 1-1 as well. Brest with a draw against Leverkusen. This evening, it is all about the Champions League. There has been a Europa League game because Galatasaray won 4-3. I was trying to see what was going on with that there, but that's where we are with that. Lovely stuff. And yeah, Man City play Sparta Prague. Barcelona against Bayern Munich. Benfica play Feyenoord. Atletico Madrid are playing Lille. Leipzig are playing Liverpool, of course. Salzburg are playing Zagreb. And Young Boys are playing Inter Milan. Team news for these teams. Leipzig is top against top, everybody. For a start, this is top against top. Leipzig have people like Lekeba, Vermeeren, number 18. Keep an eye on him. Nusa off the wing. I think he was formerly at Genk. He is one of those young players you would have bought on FIFA a couple of years ago, like me. Hadara in the midfield, been linked with the likes of Man United in the past. Sesko, Simmons and Openda as a front three. Very, very exciting front six for, well, midfield to attack for Leipzig. They're not messing about, basically. Even on their bench, they've got some good players. Baumgartner played very well in the Euros, of course, for Austria. Poulsen's still there. So decent side. Liverpool, Kelleher in goal, obviously. Tsimikas, Van Dijk, Konate and Trent. McAllister, Gravenberch and Szoboszlai. And then Gakpo, Salah and Nunez. Obviously, they've got a massive game coming up at the weekend for Liverpool against Arsenal, which we'll be covering on That's Football. Arsenal with massive injury problems. There's talk of Saka being back, but obviously they've got no Odegaard, they've got no Saliba, Ben White and Calafiori injured yesterday, so it could be massive. Hi Mark, says Daniel Sturtridge. I'm 19. I've got a driving lesson tomorrow morning and I'm meeting my newborn niece. So excited. These moments are what life's all about. All you need is a Costa coffee with a bit of pumpkin spice in it and you've got the hat trick, mate. Just fantastic. Life's for living. This is what it's all about. It's all about these moments. Thank you for sharing them with us. Brand CAFC says, are you coming to Charlton? And if you are, where are you going to be? I am at Charlton on Saturday. Watch this channel Saturday afternoon, Premier League 3 o'clock, live from Charlton against West Ham, Wrexham, sorry. It's going to be a very interesting stream. Get involved with that, of course. Really excited for that. A first for the channel. Can we do a Haaland against Kane poll? We can, Atoya. We'll get that going for you in a moment. We're just about to kick off in Germany. We are keeping an eye on Barcelona and Bayern in Munich as well. Two cracking games tonight. Top against top, top against top. Barcelona top of La Liga, Bayern and Leipzig top of the Bundesliga, and of course Liverpool top of the Premier League. Let me do a Haaland versus Kane poll. I'll get that going for you as well. I've actually got a really good twist on either or to bring in, but I will let the Kane and Haaland poll run its course. Just love this time of year, people. Love it. It's my favourite time of the year. Pretty much middle of October to Christmas, I think, is the best time of the year. Unless something bad happens to you, in which case it won't be. But, you know, God willing, it is the best time of the year, I think. I actually think between middle of October and middle of November is the best time of the year because there's no pretentious Christmas lights or, you know, Christmas taking over. But, yeah... this is massive. Looking forward to it. David says, I'm moving in with my girlfriend. Any advice? Just don't start putting candles in every room. You know, washing all your pots up straight away. Drinking tea that's not a normal cup of tea. You know what I mean? Chamomile and all that shit. Don't let it change you. Be you. Like, you know, it's a partnership, not a dictatorship. And I say that to anyone. But a couple of minutes gone here. Let me just... what have I done here? Use protection, says classic movie clips. Has anyone else got the Barcelona Bayern game on TNT? Because they've not put it on yet. Is it delayed? What's going on? Pomegranate tea sounds actually quite nice. Nomad Joe, to be honest with you. Just kicked off on TNT 5. What's going on? I want to... You know what they should invent? And it's 2024. They should invent the ability to split your screen. It's stupid how you can't watch 2 channels at the same time. I've always said that. I don't have TNT 5. Mine goes up. I only go up to TNT 4. I haven't got TNT 5. And I've missed a goal. I've missed a goal because they haven't bloody put it on. What absolute prats TNT are. Well, now they look like right idiots because we've missed a goal from Rafinha in the first 58 seconds in the UK. I mean, if you're on a dodgy stick or a stream, well done. But I've actually got this as a double watch-along, and I can't see the Barcelona goal because in the UK, they haven't fucking put it on yet. I mean, that's incredible. That is incredible. I haven't got TNT 5. I don't know what people are saying. This is not how it's meant to be. I've got Middlesbrough, Sheffield United. I've got Leipzig, Man City's game. I've got Luton, Sunderland. I've got live snooker from the Northern Ireland Open. I've got the Champions League show extra on TNT 3. Oh, here we go. Rafinha. Yeah, he's broke the offside. Is he onside, do you think? You think he's onside? It's a lovely finish by Rafinha. Goes round the goalkeeper. And I think it is going to be 1-0. It's a goal. Oh, Man City have scored. We don't care about them. You see, you can do match choice on TNT, but it doesn't give you split screen ability. Could watch young boys against Inter. God, that camera's crap. Go and have a look at young boys versus Inter. The camera's rubbish. Yeah, that's disappointing, that is. Anyway, I digress. Let's go back. So Barcelona are 1-0 up already. Fantastic. It's on TNT 4 from 8:15. Okay, yeah, I've got it. Anyway, it's fine. Jack Long, thank you very much, super chat there. Can I just say as well, amongst all of that, Erling Haaland has beaten Harry Kane 59% to 41% in our first either or. Our second either or, we are sponsored by Manscaped, by the way, 20% off, free worldwide shipping. I'm sure you've seen it going round. Fantastic products. I'll get a bit more in depth with that in a moment, although there will never ever be a live demonstration of Manscaped, but it is fantastic. It's getting to that time now where you could buy it for Christmas for your boyfriend or or your husband or just a mate if you want to, or yourself. I used to buy myself Christmas presents, not because I didn't get Christmas presents, but because I wanted to make sure I got what I wanted. There's nothing wrong with that if you can afford it. But you know what I was going to say? This is a lovely ball in down by the left-hand side. Cracking game, Liverpool-Leipzig here. I think it's going to be absolutely superb. But we'll talk about Manscaped in a moment. I've got to give credit to the chat from last night. I just can't remember who said it. They said we should do either ors that are a little bit more dangerous. Now, I'm not going to do stuff that's cancelable, like I'm not going to do an either or of whether they should ban women's football or something stupidly sexist like that, because that's just not what I'm all about. But what I don't mind doing, free header for Sesko there. Didn't get any power on it. What I don't mind doing is controversial either ors that are not cancelable either ors or offensive. So the first one we've got is a recommendation to give you the sort of a gist of it. They've got to be controversial. They've got to be controversial either ors. We can do football ones as well. Should dogs be allowed in pubs? Yes or no? Should dogs be allowed in pubs? And I'm talking about actual canines here. I'm not talking about some things you might have gone home with after 10 pints. Should dogs be allowed in pubs? This is controversial. It's on TNT 458. Channel unavailable. Why have I not got TNT 5? Apparently it's on at 8:15 on there. You know what? You talk about, like, back in the 80s, you used to get comedies like Only Fools and Horses that did used to use terms that are sexist and homophobic. I remember an episode of Only Fools and Horses when Rodney was saying to Del Boy, his brother, I can't go out with you tonight because I'm going out with Christine. And he went, what? Christine? Not that dog you were down the pub with last night. And he was like, Del, you can't call her that. He says, I had to check she wasn't on a lead. I thought you were going to buy her a bone instead of a baby sham. What do you think about that in the modern day? Comedy or offensive? Or worse? Anyway, Jack Long, thank you very much for your super chat. This is the sort of stuff we want. We want some controversial life either ors. Should dogs be allowed in pubs? Lovely. Charlie says that's a bit far, to be honest. Mate, there was some stuff on there that was racist, mate. Anyway, right. Do you like Sylvester Stallone? I love Rocky 4. I like Rocky 4, yeah. Yeah. I think modern comedy, you should be able to cross the line a little bit. Like, you can have, as long as it's comedic, you should be able to have crossed the line. I don't like the whole, you can't say that, you can't say that, you can't say that. I don't like that because, you know, I think Ricky Gervais does it well. Like, if you've been to any of his live shows, he obviously doesn't mean what he's saying. He's doing it for comedic effect. Like, he does one sketch about a missing child. Like, obviously it's horrific, but it's funny in the sense of the way he tells it. Early corner here for Liverpool. Let's see what happens with it. I say early corner, we've had 10 minutes already. Really tough game for Liverpool this tonight. Context is key. Exactly, Fox. JR says TNT is on Discovery Plus. That's a good cross by Liverpool, but Leipzig will clear it away. Yes. Just let me tell you, show sponsored by Manscaped tonight. If you don't know what Manscaped is, where have you been? Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Precision engineering for your family jewels. This is the brand new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. It's absolutely incredible, and it will sort you out down there. Look at the power of that. Christine's getting excited. That is powerful. It's got a light on it as well. It's waterproof and it will sort you out down there. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Fantastic product. 20% off and free delivery worldwide with the code FOOTY. You can scan that QR code when it goes round, or you can click the link in the description. Not only that though, I've had a shave today. I've literally just used the Beard Hedge Pro. This is it. It's got 20 different lengths on it. I needed it today. I've used that, and then I've used the Handyman to trim around there as well. Loads of fantastic products, exclusively 20% off with the code FOOTY. Absolutely fantastic, and a big shout out to Manscaped, of course. Don't forget to get your offer exclusively through That's Football and free worldwide delivery. So, Liverpool just dictating the play a little bit here. Keel Robinson's got the idea. He says, should public toilets be gender neutral? We will be doing that one next. Don't you worry about it. I like that one. That is very, very good. That's the sort of stuff I want. Controversial but fair topics. We've got a goal for Bayern Munich now. Still not 11 minutes in, but it's offside. Kane's goal's offside. Great header by Kane, but it will be given as offside. Cracking game going on there. We're going to be keeping an eye on both games. Don't you worry about that. But Tap-in Merchant is offside, says Samoom there in the chat. Lovely stuff. Alexi McAllister, I think, has picked up a yellow card there. Watch that as it goes round. Where are we? Okay, and start. There we go. Offside for Kane. What do you think of Villa, Mark? Says Jake. Well, 3 games, top of a 36 league team Champions League. Very, very good at the moment. I mean, Villa are living the dream, aren't they? Very good win against Fulham at the weekend. Just a very good side, Villa. I was very happy to get a point. Nice little ball in there. Canate, strong defensively. Wins a corner. Not happy about it, Canate, but it was a nice slide rule pass. And they're given a corner here to Leipzig. Upender there, trying to get the best of Canate. Yeah, I think it probably was a corner, to be fair. Rest in peace, Jeff Capes. I thought he'd been dead for years, Dutton. I'd take that as a positive. Obviously, not if it's his family, but rest in peace. Yeah, 23rd of October, 2024. Oh, I remember Jeff Capes from Shot Putter and Strongman. Born in 1949. That means he was 75. Oh, good shot from the edge of the box there. Was that Hedera? No, it wasn't. But it was a good shot from the edge of the box from Leipzig, and Kelleher got down and held on to it well. Like I say, Leipzig are joint top with... He hit it well. It's just very much in the keeper's area, really. Yeah, rest in peace, Jeff Capes. There we go. Pineapple on pizza, we've done that one before. That's a little bit safe. We want really controversial topics. Should dogs be allowed in pubs? 49% are saying yes, no, 51%. Well, look, I've got dogs. And if I'm going down my local pub and I want to take my dog for a walk, I think it's nice to be able to go, I'll have a pint of Guinness, read the paper for half an hour, dog sit underneath. It's very relaxing. But what I will say is, I judge it on a dog-by-dog basis. Because if I'm sat in having my Sunday roast, and on the next table, there's a big, naughty dog that won't shut up and sit down, its tail's going like a bloody flag in the wind, then I shall say, no, get this dog out this fucking pub. It's meant to be quiet and good, and seen and not heard. And this dog is getting on my bloody tits. So... You know, I'm sort of 50-50 on this. I do like dogs, but only good dogs should be allowed in a pub. I'm talking about the sort of dog that sits by the fire and the landlord has put a metal bowl of water for the dog to sip if it gets hot. I'm not talking about some yappy little shit that thinks it can run around the pub because it's a play date. So that's my thoughts on it. Leo says, should women be allowed in pubs? That's exactly the stuff we don't want. We want controversial. We don't want cancelable. Mark Rimmer, that's a good name. Is it real? Of course it is. Jeremy Rimmer. What happened to him? TNT Sports 1, press red button. Don't need to. It's on page 421 right now. Yeah, there we go. We're covered. It's actually 50-50 on should dogs be allowed in pubs. I can't believe it. I wanted to move on to something else. I'm Bowlesy says, Mark, Snog, Marry, Avoid, Rolf Harris, Elton John, Philip Schofield. Well, Elton's the best out of the three from what we know. But I wouldn't do any of that with any of them. A bit like if you see Goldbridge in a pub, says Feather. I don't really know what you're getting at. Scotty said, should players be allowed to be born in another country, then play football for another team? Declan Rice or Jack Grealish, for example. Should conspiracy theories be more mainstream, says Vincent. Hold on a minute. They're in the box here. Simmons. He'll take a tumble if he can. But Liverpool block him out very well. Reminds me of me on my career mode today, the way Liverpool are just getting the second man there to close down. But good play by Leipzig again as they go wide to the right. And the cross comes in, but it's easily dealt with. Nusser playing off the right-hand side there, number 7. Pender, number 11. Simmons, number 10. Hadira, number 8. And keep an eye out for Vermeeren, number 18. Good player. I'm trying to think where he played before Leipzig, because he's only 19. He's going to be a very good player. Royal Antwerp. Actually, he's from Atletico Madrid. He's on loan from Atletico Madrid. That was what I was getting mixed up with. They reckon he's going to be a very good player. Should players keep taking the knee, says Eden. I'm going to do that one as well. That is a good one. These are the sort of things we want. Controversial either-ors that will get people agitated and opinionated. That's what we want. So I'm fed up of the fair weather shit. It's 50-50 on whether pubs should allow dogs in. I like the look of a Pender, says Linda. Yeah, but what do you think about his football talent, eh? Yeah, Linda, I'm not going to... Yeah, anyway. I don't see a game worth doing Saturday, Mark. You're taking the day off? You should, says Chris. Mate, I'm at Charlton. I'm doing 3 o'clocks live from Charlton Athletic because they're playing Wrexham. So, exactly, the Premier League games aren't necessarily a big jump out, but that's why we've gone to Charlton on Saturday to do a live watch-along from the stadium and cover a bit of League One and the Championship as well as the Premier League. Kane has scored again. Let's have a look. Good cross to the back post. He's definitely onside that time. It's a good finish, isn't it? That is a good finish. Gnabry with the cross. Kane with the... That's a lovely goal, that is. That is a good goal. You can't argue with that. I mean, look, Harry Kane is world class. He's just an absolute donkey in a team where you want to get him behind. He'll be really excited by that, Kane. It really was a good finish. Right, I'm going to close this poll on 50-50. Should dogs be allowed in pubs? There will be a winner. Just be wary of it. I can tell you, should dogs be allowed in pubs? 50.4% are saying yes. 49.6% are saying no. As I say, I'm sort of on the fence. If it's a good dog, let it in. If it's a bad dog, get out. Anyway, that was a good either or. We've got another couple to do here. We're doing controversial either ors, and I can't remember what. Here we go. We'll do this one next from DGen. We've got a few to get through, so don't worry. And if you can think of any more, get your comments in. Should England have foreign managers, yes or no? Thanks, Chris, for your comments. Sven says, is it racism? Is it racism if you make racism jokes about your own ethnicity? Well, I don't think it. I don't know. I don't know what the rules are on that, but I suppose you can only answer it if you've been part of it. Matthew McFadden says, should Yorkie have got rid of the No Girls Allowed branding? I don't even remember it. Do you want to swap Bruno's, Mark? Says Josh Rainsford. Why have you gone off, Jane? Have you gone off Bruno G now? Trump or Harris next poll? You know I'll do it, Luca. Yeah, so Barcelona Bayern's going off really, really well at the moment. Fantastic finish by Kane. Rafinha had given them the early lead. Leipzig Liverpool is a little bit more equal. Well, then again, so's Barcelona Bayern, to be fair. Good play by Gakpo. Bundesliga's on the up, isn't it? I think the Bundesliga is on the up because of teams that aren't Bayern Munich. Like, you look at Stuttgart last night, they absolutely dominated Juventus. Dortmund, I know they lost, but they got to the Champions League final. They did well at the start of the game yesterday. Obviously, Leverkusen won the title last year. Leipzig are looking very good this year. Bundesliga is, well, controversial question, is the Bundesliga, I'll keep that back. I'll keep that back. It's a football controversial one. Anyway, dogs are allowed in pubs. We've allowed that. I don't say thank you very much for that. It's an underrated league, Mark, says Rinse Clear. No, I disagree with you up the Chelsea. He says Bundesliga's always been a good league. It's just underrated heavily. I don't think it has always been a good league. I mean, Bayern Munich won it nearly 10 years in a row. I don't think it's been as strong as it has been. I remember after COVID, Bundesliga came back first. I tried to watch it. It was fucking shit. It was really bad. I really do think it's improved in the last couple of years to a point where it's very competitive against the Premier League, La Liga. And you could say it's stronger than the Italian league, isn't it? Labour or reform, says Rajan. Hey, mate, I'm not getting involved in politics. There's two things I won't vote on. There's two things I won't discuss. I'm not getting involved in politics, and I'm not getting involved in Celtic Rangers, which some would say, well, it's not politics, is it? Rangers, Celtic, it's more than that. Good tempo here. Ollie says, I've got a controversial one for you. Have you ever dipped a custard cream in a cup of tea? You know what? Neville doesn't like me, but I've never really had a problem with him. But I find him, as an experiment, I find him absolutely hilarious at times. I just don't think he's got any... It's not comedy. It's definitely not comedy. He's not doing it because he's got up at 4 o'clock and wrote it. He's doing it because he genuinely thinks that he's one of the first people to put a custard cream in a cup of tea. And that's hilarious. It's the lack of awareness that this is something that people were doing before he was born is hilarious. It's like when he goes on holiday and he calls it what does he call it when he goes on holiday? That made me laugh as well. Not a vacation. What does he call it when he goes on holiday? He did it, didn't he? What did he say? Hold on a minute. Leipzig with a shot. Oh, what a goal by Openda. That is offside. Oh, what a shame. What a shame. That was absolutely fantastic. What a goal. And he doesn't get it. He does so well. Such a shame it was offside. I need to see this back. I want to see this back. I'm going to see this back here. Oh, yeah. Openda's slipped through. Yeah, he was offside. when he scores, he's not benefited from being offside. They basically slip the ball through, and he's offside. And then the Liverpool defence catch up with him. He stops, he spins, and he shoots. But lovely finish. Dead Zone says, do you have a second team? Mine's Juventus. And Kaiser says, pro-life or pro-choice? Ooh, that is a good one. I'm going to go back through some of these. Rajan wants to do Labour or reform. That's politics. Kyle says, should we bring back the death penalty? Goal! Liverpool from the death penalty to Darwin Núñez. Some people would say it's a bit of a death penalty watching him miss loads of chances, but he scored here. Well, Liverpool fans deserve credit when it comes to Núñez because they stand by him all the time. I mean, Man United fans who criticise their new signings could learn a bit or two about how Liverpool stand by their players because he can't miss. I've just realised, yeah, if he misses this, Liverpool fans would sack him. They'd probably bring back the death penalty. I mean, it's a lovely header by Salah, and Darwin Núñez literally can't miss. Is it going in for Salah anyway? I think it might have been going wide, but it's a 1 yard tap in for Núñez. And yeah, I mean, I'd have scored that. David says, do you think women's football will get more popular? Yes, I do. I do. It's getting very popular and it's certainly getting better. It's always been a quality issue, hasn't it? But as the quality... Women's football would never glow up if the quality wasn't getting better, and it is getting better. Chicken biryani or chicken fried rice is Poulard. Yeah, going back to what we were talking about, yeah, the cup of tea thing. A mini retirement, that's what he called it, going on holiday. But yeah, when he called it a builder's tea and he said, have you ever tried dipping a custard cream in it? You can tell he genuinely thinks he's like being niche. Should England have foreign managers? The answer is 85% say yes. Liverpool leading against Leipzig here. We needed a goal. And it'll open up the game up nicely, I think, now. 85% say yes. Well, good, because we've got one. Right, I'm going to get another controversial one going here. It was asked, so I'm going to put it there. I don't think it's... I can't remember who asked it, but it's there as a poll. Should footballers still be taking the knee? It was Eden. There we go. And we've got another one coming up as well. Thanks everybody who's tuning in tonight, by the way. Please do subscribe to the channel. We are currently, well, I'll tell you in a moment. Oh my God, we're only 30 subscribers away from 263,000. So smash that button in the bottom right-hand corner and subscribe. Get involved with That's Football. Daily content on here covering all of football. And of course, this weekend, we've got two really exciting watch-alongs for you. Liverpool at Arsenal, 4:30 on Sunday. But on Saturday, do tune in because we're covering all Saturday afternoon games, updates, etc. But we're going to be live from Charlton Athletics ground as they take on Wrexham. So we've got some behind-the-scenes stuff going on there. It's going to be really good, so check it out. And the great thing is, we will be giving score updates, but you'll obviously hear the goals behind me when they go in. The Valley. It's the Valley, yes. I knew it was the Valley, but I didn't want to say it and then be wrong. You know, like I said, join me at Charlton on Saturday from the Liberty. I've played there. No, I've coached there. I've played the game. What's this we're donating for? To donate, text... I didn't even see what it was for. LG says, should they bring back the death penalty for City officials if they're found guilty? That's a bit too far. Liam says, taking the knee is good when it's done less frequently. Doing it every game makes it overused and the message doesn't come as well as it does now. Fozzie says, great to see you on the Red Men earlier. They're a good set of lads. Here's Gakpo into the box. Nice cross. Oh, great save by the keeper. Nunez nearly getting his second goal. Hungary's goalkeeper there. And he was hungry to make the save. I've been waiting to do that. Have you ever played abroad, Mark? Says Wham. In what sense? I've been to Magaluf. Or are you talking about football? That's offside, that's offside, that's offside. Good pace by Openda, but Trent's done well, and he's going to win a free kick as well. What do you have for dinner tonight, Mark? Says, I had a bit of a... I'm sure we all do it. I had a bit of a... Actually, I need to have a bit of a stand-up here. I can't just sit down all the show. No point having a standing desk and then not using it for a bit. I had a bit of a mismatched... Do you ever do that? Like a bit of a mismatched tea. I had a chicken breast with... I just whacked it in the oven for half an hour with a bit of seasoning on the top. Lovely and moist. And then I had... what did I have with it? I had some like lentils and stuff with cheese on top on the chicken, and then I had some baked beans with it, and then I had some salad, and there's some coleslaw with it. It was a real mishmash, but it was nice. It was actually nice. Yeah. William Shakespeare has just farted and it smells rotten. Right, should footballers still be taking the knee? 70% say no and 30% say yes. Shows you the sort of world we're living in. It's not a landslide, so therefore certain elements think it's still a good idea. How many genders should be officially recognised, says Chris? Well, that's not a yes or no, Chris, so let's be a bit careful. But I do have a gender one. Mark, my daughter finds you hot, says William. Okay. Where was it? Kyle, this is controversial. We're doing controversial either-ors tonight. We started off with whether dogs should be allowed in pubs. It's escalated a bit because Kyle says, should we bring back death penalty? Yes or no? Top 3 rounds for the table, says Rick. What are you talking? I don't know what that means. Should you try to convince your friends that pineapple belongs to pizza, or is there a battle best left for the food warriors? Each to their own. Samuel. I remember my mate saying to us down the pub when we were about 19, he liked it when his missus put a finger up his arse, and I just thought, you know, on the way home as I instantly walked out, you know what, each to their own. So I like pineapple on a pizza. I don't like a finger up my arse. But that's what makes the world go around. And it wasn't Kev. Every time I tell a story, everyone says it's Kev from from United Stand, because I had a mate called Kev who told us that to get in the mood before a night out, him and his mates used to watch a porno together. Yeah. Here's Trent. Goes wide. Right, let's have a look at what's going on in the other game. Why do I keep pressing 5? Yeah, Liverpool are doing well here at the moment. Barcelona 1, Bayern Munich 1, and Nabry's coming down the right-hand side here. I fancy Bayern to win this. Lovely ball by Kane. And good defending. Good defending. Van Dijk's just had a really good header saved. Liverpool sort of turning the screw here. That first goal, and they're certainly in the ascendancy. At the moment, the death penalty's coming back if it was down to that's football. 60% of you. We're doing controversial. Either ors as well. I've got a good football controversial one actually in a minute. That's a good ball, but... Oh, penalty! He's not giving it. Has he given it? Is he having a think about it? No. He's not having it. Darwin Núñez goes down. I tell you what, every day of the week it looks like it's a penalty. But it's a good dive if he's done it. There's not a massive amount of appeal from... Oh, I tell you what, you're seeing them get given, especially in Europe. Oh, mate, that's a penalty. Come on. Even I think that's a bloody penalty. Come on. That's surely a penalty. Anyway, we've got a goal for Barcelona. I'm going back. Don't worry, it's all going on. Lovely bit of play. And it's Lewandowski against Kane. And it's Lewandowski who scores. It's a cracking game. Lots going on. Lewandowski scores 2-1. Lovely stuff. Cracking game. Another brilliant night in the Champions League. I can't believe they've not given that penalty, by the way. Just overshadowed a little bit with Lewandowski making it 2-1 to Barcelona. But that's I don't know how that's not a penalty. And look, every part of me wants to say, what a dive. But I always look at it and think, well, if that's Marcus Rashford tomorrow night, I'm going absolutely crazy. But Liverpool are turning the screw here. You'd be a bit worried if you're Arsenal because after a good start from Leipzig, Liverpool are now really taking control. Look, I think with Núñez there, it's one of those where you get to the ball before the defender and the defender has to commit. And you knock the ball back and you know the contact's coming and you let your body go. It's not simulation. It's not a dive. There is contact there and you've got every right to go down. So I don't understand why the referee's not given it. And I really don't understand why VAR hasn't stepped in. If that was in the Premier League this weekend, you'd be going absolutely crazy. So yeah, I think it's VAR has obviously backed the referee, but there's not enough evidence there to say that it's a dive when there's clear contact. I'm not going to deny that Núñez knows what he's doing. I used to do that quite a lot. You feel the contacts. It's Tom Daly time. Get your Speedos on. But I think it's a penalty. I mean, look, this is exactly my point. Núñez dived, says Dio, barely tripped him. You've just admitted he tripped him. So you can't, in football, you can't decide what bodily contact is. If there's contact, you've got to give the penalty. Apparently there was no VAR check. You can't decide whether there's enough contact to take a player down, because my simple answer to that is, okay, if I get hit on the kneecap with a baseball bat, that's going to hurt. But if you ever, stubbed your toe or kicked a corner of a table, not much contact, it bloody hurts. Seth Rollins says, some rumours saying Man United co-owners, the Glazers, make 650 million takeover decision, and as new Rain Group chance emerges in Manchester Evening News. Don't know what that's all about, Seth, but we'll have to have a look at that. Rub says, I miss Chelsea in the Champions League, and Liverpool nearly again from a corner. Leipzig have got to find a way to be a little bit more offensive here because they're getting smothered. Sven says, should intimate activities between two people only be allowed after marriage? What? That's ridiculous, Sven. You're going to get absolutely... I'm not even going to put that as a poll because it's ridiculous. Keep us out quick there. You should cast Prince Charming in Disney's... You should cast Prince Charming in Disney's movie, says Leon. Thank you very much for that. Should we bring back the death penalty? 64% of you say yes, and 36% of you say no. I've got one here that's football related. Is the Bundesliga... I can't type. Is the Bundesliga better than La Liga? Stronger? God, stop putting capital letters on, you knobhead. There we go. I'm basically saying that I think that the Bundesliga is now the second best league in the world. Controversial, but there you go. On the death penalty coming back, the only problem you've got with that is miscarriages of justice. They might be here and there, but there are proven cases here and in America and in other places in the world where people have spent a lot of time in prison for serious crimes they didn't commit. Sounds like A-Team, doesn't it? If you know, you know. But obviously, lovely play for Liverpool. Oh, if they'd scored there, Gakpo, if they'd scored that goal there, the way they carved Leipzig open was incredible. Szoboszlai plays it back into Gakpo. He gets the shot off, and defender does quite well to just put him off, really. Probably would have been a FIFA penalty, that, actually, because he doesn't touch the ball. But no, my opinion is that if you've definitely got the criminal, if it's definitely them, there are certain crimes where, yeah, I think the death penalty should be there. It's also massively cost efficient. Which is not the reason I would bring it back. But what I'm saying is, if somebody is a serial killer and, you know, they've killed numerous innocent people and they're in their early 30s, and then you put them in prison for the next 40 years, 3 meals a day, Sky TV, heating, you know, hot water, a room, you'd save all that money, wouldn't you, if you got rid of them? And they probably bloody deserve it. So, you know. We're doing controversial either-ors tonight, so get involved if you've got any ideas. I'm quite enjoying this. I should do this as a podcast. Imagine if I did this as a podcast. Should you allow dogs in pubs? Should we bring back the death penalty? Should toilets be gender neutral? All this sort of stuff's great. Fantastic football going on. Come on, there's got to be some better ones than this. We've had some good ones already. I loved the pub one. I loved the dogs in the pub one. I've got a gender bias one. Do you lift the toilet seat up when you have a piss? Now, women won't be doing that unless you've got a weird crouch fetish, and I'm not talking about Peter. But do you lift the toilet seat up when you have a piss? I don't. I think I take it as a challenge. I never have. I understand why you would do it, because there is splashback, but I've always, I always wanted to be a fighter pilot. So for me, It's a little bit like Luke Skywalker at the end of Star Wars when he has to shoot into that little hole to blow up the Death Star. I think that's where it started for me at about 6, and I've never changed. Half time. It's Liverpool 1 and it's Leipzig 0. And a good half from Liverpool. I think they thoroughly deserved that. But Barcelona are 3-1 up. Oh my God. Barcelona 3. Bayern Munich 1. Kompany is getting battered in the Nou Camp. I thought this was in... for some reason, I thought this was in... I'll tell you what, actually. I changed my mind. I'm not surprised. I'd have had Barcelona to win this in the Nou Camp. They've scored again with Rafinha. Not as smooth as... bit of a wish Vinicius Jr. really, but it's very similar in the sense that he's carried it well. Little bit of luck, but it's a lovely finish. It's sort of gone between up and Maguire's legs, as they call him. Well, that's not fair on Maguire. Neuer's very, very close to it, but yeah, Barca 3-1 up here. No, actually, you know what? Upamecano's just shit. Because Rafinha's not done anything wrong. He's just literally curled it in. Lovely stuff. Wow. They're going to bring back... They're going to have to do something away from home that Real Madrid last night did at home, which is come back from being 2 goals behind at half-time. Cracking Champions. I mean, look, I don't like the format, but some of the games have been very interesting. So the teams are obviously adapting to it as well. Shane says we need the weird fetish reacts vids again. Kyla says, is peeing in the shower okay or disgusting? I mean, I don't get the problem with having a piss in the shower. I mean, I might be in a massive minority here, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. Bath is something very different. I hear that people do that. The water's still in there. But in a shower with running fresh water and, you know, there's the plug. What's the difference between having a piss in the shower and getting out of a shower to go in the toilet, which is also going to go down the drain? There is absolutely no issue with it as far as I'm concerned. If anything, it's hygienic. Because after you've had a piss, you can give yourself a bit of a Radox shower gel and get everything going again. It's still going here. Barcelona are pushing again. And now he blows for half-time. Fantastic half of football for Barcelona there. They lead 3-1 against Bayern Munich. Let's have a quick look at the stats at half-time here. I thought the stats carousel was going round, but it seems to have got stuck on... I don't know why that's stuck on there, but let's get that changed. There we go. 62% possession for Liverpool away from home is fantastic. 4 shots to 3. And they've obviously had better pass completion, but Liverpool will be very happy with that. I mean, look, it's a tough week for Liverpool, isn't it? Chelsea, Leipzig, Arsenal. But in some ways, Leipzig could be brilliant preparation for Arsenal. Hard away game. So they'll be very, very pleased with that, of course. Is the Bundesliga stronger than La Liga? 43% say yes. 57% say no. I think it is. I think the Bundesliga is a stronger league than the La Liga now. Beyond Barcelona and Real Madrid, I don't think that La Liga is particularly strong. Whereas I think the Bundesliga at the moment has 4 or 5 really decent teams. But it is controversial, I will agree. Who's the better referee, Michael Oliver or Anthony Taylor, says Luke. I'll answer that, neither. Should fat people pay more for plane seats? I'm doing that one, Aaron Jones. I'm definitely doing that one. So, La Liga is stronger than the Bundesliga. We are doing controversial either or. I should be writing these down for a show. I'm going to change fat to overweight or large. I don't know whether that's worse. I'm just going to go large. There we go. I'm not doing Should You Be Able to Marry Your Cousin, Dutton. This is not that sort of a show. Goldio says, is it acceptable to push Goldbridge into the swimming pool to get the last sunbed on holiday? Sorry, Mark, but it's every man for himself. You said a child before that, Goldio, and you shit yourself. Definitely. Peeing in the shower is fine. Should we have separate flights for people going with family kids and people not with family? I hate hearing screaming kids on planes, says Shay. It's very stressful for the parent, though, mate. It really is. Jordan says, can we have a poll wiping front to back or back to front? I'd rather not. I'd rather not. Rub is recommending the film Alien Romulus. It is a very good film, yes. The German league is more challenging than Spain, but it's not better, says Chris. And Goldio says it's acceptable, or is it acceptable, to push a child in the swimming pool to steal the last sunbed on holiday? That just reminds me of the of that in-betweeners thing. Oddly Tolerant says, should women with XY genes be allowed to play against other women? Says Oddly Tolerant. I can't say what William says about the Glazers. That would be wrong. No, well, just going back to that previous point there, I'm not going to pretend to be an expert on this, but if it's scientifically proven that you have something in you that makes you, have an advantage over everybody else, then in something like running or boxing or the Olympics, then it's not fair, is it? And that's just the way it is. Whether they decide to allow it or not, there will be an asterisk next to it, won't there? Just the same as there is with Man City if they get found guilty. Is snooker a sport or a game, says Grant? It's a sport. Better manager, Jack the Ripper or Southgate? Yes or no, is the PGMOL corrupt, says Vincent. And should you retake driving tests when you're old, says Charlie? Yes, definitely. And DGen says, shaved genitals or natural, sponsored by Manscaped. It depends on the weather. I think in the winter you want a bit of, it can get a bit cold down there. In the summer, it can get a bit hot. Should large people pay more for plane seats? 75% of you have said yes on that one. There we go. That's a landslide. Pay for what you eat. Barca's high line is absurdly good, says United. Well, I wanted to just focus in on Barcelona for a moment because they're leading 3-1 here. And I did a poll last night about who do you prefer, Barcelona or Real Madrid? And I said, for me, historically, I've always preferred Barcelona. But then recently, I've probably favoured Real Madrid because of people like Ronaldo and Bellingham and having that attachment to them, whether it's Man United or England. But Barcelona at the moment are 3 points clear of Real Madrid in La Liga. They've only lost one game. Real Madrid have not lost a game yet, to be fair. But they are doing absolutely fantastically. They've scored 33 goals in 10 games. They're averaging over 3 goals a game. Real Madrid have scored 21 in 10 games, so they're averaging 2 goals a game. Absolutely fantastic. And they've got 3 again tonight. So look, Hansi Flick has done an incredible job there. I'm just intrigued with Barcelona just to see how sustainable this is. I'm not saying that he's going to be the La Liga version of Ange, but is it going to be sustainable? Because if it is, he deserves all the plaudits. I just didn't see this happening with Barcelona. I didn't look at their squad over the last 2 years and think that's a team that's ready to take on the Champions League and Real Madrid. I look at that Real Madrid side and I think it's incredible. And that's why it's been winning La Liga and that's why it's been winning the Champions League. So what they're doing at the moment is absolutely fantastic. And look, Rafinha, Yamal, Lewandowski, Pedri, Balde, they've got some good players. But again, I still look at it and go, I didn't see that happening. And I think a lot of it is obviously down to the manager and what he's done. I mean, you look at the strength of their bench. They've got people like Dani Olmo on the bench. Xavi's on the bench. Frankie de Jong's on the bench. So they're rebuilding something there. And it's, look, I think Barcelona, I mean, look, as a Man United fan, I'm sure people would say Man United have been in the doldrums a lot longer, but Barcelona have been, since Messi's gone, they've not really been a real threat, have they? And I'm sure Real Madrid fans enjoy it, but actually, it's a bit like Man United and Liverpool. I'd like to have had a few title races against Liverpool properly. Liverpool are better than Bayern, says Hugo. Well, we don't know the answer to that question. Man City might be better than Real Madrid this year. We don't know until they meet. But at the moment, Barcelona are doing fantastically well. That's what I'm saying. Rock RDA says, should arseholes stop being arseholes instead of complaining that people are woke because they get called on the bullshit they do and say? Interesting comment there. Thank you very much for that. William Shakespeare, I'm not getting involved in things like that, so sorry. Do you think United are cursed by a gypsy? This is great. Okay, it's getting a bit weird now. Thank you very much for that. I need to think of another either or here that's a bit decent. Done that. Anthony Taylor's refereeing Liverpool against Arsenal at the weekend. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Thank you very much for watching. Somebody said about tipping there. I personally think it's an inconvenience to tip people. Not that you shouldn't tip people, but I would rather they just, every restaurant said 10%. And that 10% goes to the waitresses and everything, or the waiter. Yeah. Okay. Do you remember the Man United game versus Chivas in Mexico where Chicharito played first half for Chivas and scored, then changed over to Man United in the second half, says let go of my blouse? Vaguely. I can't say it's there, definitely, but vaguely. Do you think... okay, I'm not doing that. Is it okay to brush your teeth while showering, says Jide? I mean, it's not controversial, mate, but whatever, mate. It's not... Yeah, it's not controversial, but... I've brushed my teeth while I've had a crap before. And as long as you get it right, it's actually quite time efficient. My thought theory was I wanted to get in bed to watch a film and a crap and then brushing my teeth for 2 minutes. I saved myself 2 minutes. What's wrong with that? Should throw in to be taken by the foot, says Eden. Oh, I like this one. Okay, so this is football related. It's controversial. Should throw-ins be replaced with kick-ins? Now, before you start answering this one, I'm not going to make it public yet, right? So Seb plays under 8s football, right? They are not allowed to head the ball and they don't have throw-ins, they have kick-ins. Now, what the rules are with a kick-in is that when a player's going to take a kick-in, you've got to be 5 metres away. So you can't stand in front of them, the opposition, right? You also are not allowed to shoot from a kick-in. And you can dribble it in from a kick-in. So if I've got the ball on the touchline, I don't have to look for a pass. I can actually take a touch and start dribbling if I want to. It works really well. The only thing I don't know and would have to happen is I think you would have to limit the kick to 20 metres or something like that. Because the problem with it is if you've got someone like David Beckham, he could hit it 60 yards and put it right on the goalkeeper. And I don't that would be horrible to see. So I think that kick-ins would be good if you can dribble it in. The opposition's got to be 5 metres away. And the furthest pass you can play is on the ground and 30 metres, something like that. But Jason's probably right. It would be too many extra rules. But it works really well in youth football. It works really well in youth football. It's much better than a throw-in. Because they struggle with it, don't they? But they don't have handballs. If you head it, in Seb's league, it's a free kick. Somebody headed it the other day and it was a penalty, which I think is a bit harsh. Tony Shannon says, do you believe in God? I'm going to do that one. That's the sort of controversial stuff we want. 75% of you said, should throw-ins be replaced with kick-ins? And it's a no. There we go. We'll move on. Good show tonight. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Yeah, don't forget to tune in on Saturday afternoon. We're live at the Valley. Charlton against Wrexham. Our very first sort of watch-along where we will be covering all the games on Saturday afternoon, but live from a football ground. So tune in for that. Appreciate your support. And then, obviously, we're live from the... No, we're not. We're doing Arsenal against Liverpool on Sunday. So lots to get involved in. Should I manage Leipzig in EAFC 25, says Daniel. You go for it, bro. I'm saying yes. I never do foreign leagues on... career mode anymore. Sam says, end all wars or City get charged with all 115. Well, come on, everyone. Come on, Sam, let's get serious, mate. Richard says, should men be forgiven after cheating? Richard, if that's a poll and everyone says yes, you can't use it against your missus. She's still going to make her own mind up. Right, second halves are about to start. Leipzig losing to Liverpool 1-0 at the moment. In fact, it started already. Idiot bridge. I need to get the start clock running here. What are we at? 46. Oh, I'll tell you what I was going to ask you all tonight. Just a very niche question. I really enjoyed Succession, the TV series. Few people have mentioned me this one called Industry. I know it's not like Succession, but has anybody watched it and do you recommend it? Lou roll, over or under? We've done this one before, Lee. Definitely over for me. Katie's saying, is it okay to urinate in the showers? And thank God at last it's a woman saying it. Why do we think about a man? You know, women urinate too. I think urinating in the shower is a fantastic idea, Katie. I really do. I don't really, you know, we all do it. Why should we not be doing it in the shower? Actually, if anything, it's hygienic, like I say. Do it when you first get in, then wash your hair and do all your stuff, and your soap will just clear out the plug. As John Clark says, and that's women saying it at last. Exactly. Sir Bossman says, it's good for the environment. Less flushes. Again, environmental. Apparently City have scored. Put your hands up if you don't give a shit. I mean, who cares? James Guy says it depends on which God. 60% of you believe in God. 40% don't. I'm actually very interested in that. Stuart says, should penalty shootouts be replaced with 3 touches from the halfway line? Nah, not for me, Stuart. Keep it as it is. I mean, I'd rather replace penalty shootouts with golden goal. I think a game of football should be decided by football. I mean, the one that really opened my eyes was USA 94. You know, you watch a whole tournament for a month and it comes down to Italy, Brazil playing penalty shootout to win a World Cup. That to me just is never right. I just don't agree with it. I think they gave up on golden goal too soon. Here's Darwin Núñez. He's done well. He needs to cut that back. And he did. Oh, what a save. I'll tell you what, Leipzig at the back here, they're making so many mistakes, but it could have been 2-0 there for Liverpool. Big mistake, but the keeper makes another big save. Rudolph the Red says, have you heard of the ancient astronaut theory? No. Although there is a... It's got 8 signatures from 2016. They closed it. Should the ancient astronaut theory should be taught in UK schools? It has more evidence to back it up than religion does, and yet schools are forced to teach religious education. I don't know what the theory is, mate. I feel like an idiot. What's your favourite conspiracy theory, Mark? Says Goldio. I'm not big into conspiracy theories. I like reading about them, but I don't really have a favourite that makes me think, oh, that's true. I'm going to close the poll. God exists because 60% of you said so. There we go. Tony Shannon says, follow-up chat. Darwin Nunez is causing all sorts of problems here. He's in the box again. Leipzig need to find an attacking solution. They've really struggled, apart from the first 15 minutes. But here's a Pender. Slips it into the box. And good defending by Liverpool and Kanate against his former club. Tony Shannon says, follow-up chat. God is the only possible explanation for anything to exist at all. Every other possibility needs a previous cause. Change my mind. Oh, God. Sorry. It's literally gone religious. Oh, okay. I'm going to do this one. It's controversial. It's coming in from Ollie. We're doing controversial either-ors tonight. It started off with, should dogs be allowed in pubs? We've now got, is there life after death? That's coming in from Ollie. I actually think Back to the Future will happen. I've just cancelled myself with a stupid opinion. But I actually do. I've got no theory for it, but I do. Who to blame has a poo in the shower? Come on. You're just doing that to be, you know, notorious. Corner to Leipzig here. I love the controversial opinions because it gets people thinking. I'm going to start doing this as a live show on my own channel. Controversial opinions. Just do a live show. I'll have a glass of red. Once a month. It'll be great. Vincent says, should people clap when a plane lands? Oh, God. I mean, I don't want to say anything because it's most of the plane, but I always turn to whoever I'm with and say, this lot are thick. Like, I'm very cynical anyway, and I just go, they're fucking thick. Like, what do you do? The only alternative to clapping is you're dead. You know, it's true. And why are you clapping for landing a fucking plane? Like, I've been on the plane from Dublin to Birmingham. It's 35 minutes. And it's June. And it's sunny. Like, he's gone up. And then he's coming back down. Or her. Pilots can be a female. They land the plane and everyone's going, woo! And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you doing it? You know, praise should be earned. You're never going to not clap. Because if you're not clapping, you're literally dead. Roy Keane wouldn't clap. He'd say, what nonsense. They're literally doing their job. But no, I did clap once because we were flying from Dublin, funnily enough, one December. It was like gale force winds. We were flying in from Dublin to East Midlands, which is the airport closest to Nottingham, because I was going back for Christmas. And it was, no, it was fog. It was fog. And it was windy. And it came down to land 3 times and had to go up, which is a horrible feeling when you can see the trees and then it suddenly goes up. 3 times it came round to go down, and then the pilot, which was a female, which I didn't hold against her at all, it was nothing to do with that. People who say that men are better drivers than women are, sexist. But she said, if I try again, we're running low on fuel, so I'm just going to go to Birmingham and hope it's better. And I was like, most of the plane was like, oh my God. And then when we landed at Birmingham, everybody applauded. Yeah. Ooh, McAllister's just had a shot at point blank range from Henriks, right in the cock. That is gonna hurt. He's down, and the entire male human race is praying for Alexi McAllister here. Liverpool player or not, I've never had so much sympathy for a player. He's literally legs wide open, taken an absolute screamer right into the cock. And he's down. He is down. I'm telling you, Linda says he's done, and Linda hasn't even got a cock. As far as, well, she might have, and if you have, Linda, that's absolutely fine. But what I'm saying is, basically, to the females out there, getting it, I don't know what it's like for you, but getting that ball at that speed there, it feels like your balls are in your throat and you just want to be in a coma. It's horrible. Absolutely horrible. Linda says, I haven't got balls. I'm married. You can still be married and called Linda with a cock. But you're not. And I'm glad that's been cleared up. The camera's not even showing Alexi McAllister here. It's not a head wound. He's up. He's crying. I tell you what, he's up quicker than me. I'd want a stretcher. I'd want morphine and gas and air. It's making me get sympathy pains. Knight of Logic says, God not needing a cause is called special pleading. It's fallacious. Why does God not need a cause, but everything else does, according to Pratt, says Knight. I see, it's gone off now. This is what I mean about controversy. What a show. I'm literally just I'm just playing the keys here. Great show. Barcelona are still 3-1 up against Bayern Munich in the new camp. 53 minutes gone there. I thought Barcelona had a man sent off there because it's got a red next to bar, but obviously they're wearing red and blue, so no, they're not. But I'd say Barcelona now will just play a little bit more defensive. What's this one we had? Is there life after death? Yes, 55. Oh, God, it gets better. Is there life after death? I've got a good one. Is there life after death? If I do it, I'll definitely... Matt, get ready for TikTok. Is there life after death? 55% say yes, 45% say no. The question is, who told the 55% that there is? Okay, we need a more light-hearted one here. So I'm thinking of something. So we had Is There Life After Death, which was a little bit deep. So I've gone with something a little bit more humorous. Would you jump in and help a friend in a crocodile attack? So basically, you're in Australia, you're all having a bit of fun, you're having a barbie, your mate just goes in a little bit of a lake for a bit of a cool down. Next thing you know, he's in the middle of the lake and there's a big, massive crocodile attacking him. Would you jump in and help him? 4-1 to Barcelona. The minute I turn off, it's there. Well, it's an annihilation here. And I'm not talking about your mate and the crocodile. It's a Rafinha hat-trick. We had Vinny J last night, and we've got Rafinha here for Barcelona tonight. 4-1. It's definitely game over. Lee says, I wouldn't help a friend, but I'd help a dog. And yet, I sort of agree. Yeah, I want to see the goal again. Big celebrations. It's not the new camp, is it? I keep saying it's in the new camp, and it's not in the new camp. Of course, Lewandowski, former of Bayern Munich. Here it is. Look again. Just a ball in Upamecano's shit, isn't he? Oh, Neuer shouldn't get beat from there, though. I mean, that's better than any goal Rafinha scored. Vinicius Jr. scored last night. Lovely finish. He's so bad, isn't he, Upamecano? He's so bad. I mean, why Bayern Munich kept Upamecano and sold De Ligt is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Well, some people, C. Joe says, who cares about dogs? Well, some of you won't even let a dog go in a bloody pub, so you're not going to jump in and save it from a crocodile, are you? You'd be throwing it in. Yes, 4-1 here. So let's go back to Liverpool. There we go. That game's over anyway. Brilliant from Barcelona. 9 goals from Barcelona and Real Madrid in 2 games. I tell you. To be honest with you, I must just tell you, if a mate or a dog is being attacked by a big crocodile, don't go in. Because you're not going to win. Crocodiles have got probably the strongest weapon known to Earth. Their jaws are like, if they've wrapped on, you got no chance. I mean, the only chance you've got is if you're going in with like an AK-47, but then you're probably going to, I mean, they're erratic. They're not accurate. They spray bullets everywhere, so you're probably going to kill your mate. So the best thing you can probably do is just look away and, you know, save yourself from the image of the horror. But the reason I said mate is because if it was certain family members, I wouldn't even consider going in. But if it was certain family members, I'd go in anyway. So oh, Jordan, you've done a good one here. This has been brilliant football and some absolutely brilliant controversial either ors. Jordan's come up with a classic. Ben Thornton says, I'd go in if it was an inflatable crocodile. Well, we'd all go in then, Ben. Somebody just said should there be a purge day, says Jack. Isn't that basically what Hitler was trying to do? Is that what a purge is? Like when you just kill loads of people to get the population down? Well, no, that's not what Hitler did, actually. But I don't like the sound of that at all. Obviously, well, I don't like the sound of what Hitler did at all. I'm saying I don't like the sound of what a purge day is. I don't even want to Google it. Inzaghi to replace your manager. How do you feel? Says United 1. Not happening. Soleil said, isn't Barcelona proof Ten Hag is awful? On what planet, Soleil? What planet? I don't know what you're talking about. Right, I'm going to close this poll. Would you jump in and help a friend in crocodile attack? 39% of you say yes. 39% of you are dead. 61% of you say no. That's not about fight or flight, by the way, because everyone wants to think that they're fights. I actually studied fight or flight syndrome when I was in the police, and people think it's weak to be flight, but some of the toughest people in the world are flight. It's in you. You can't help it. So fight or flight is in a really traumatic situation. Not outside your local kebab shop when your mate's being attacked and you go down the gym every day. That's not fight or flight. That's knowing you can kick the shit out of most people. Fight or flight is literally the most terrifying thing you can think of. Do you fight or do you leg it? And a lot of hard people, I'm not talking about porn stars, will be flight. Up Meccano or Maguire. I'm going to do that one. It's not controversial, but we'll do it. I know what I would vote, but I don't want to influence it. Can Leipzig get back into this? 25 minutes. Cracking stream tonight, by the way. Probably one of my favourites because it's football and chat, which is what it's all about for me. So I've loved it. On a personal note, you made it great. Thank you very much. Can Leipzig make it even better and get a leveler here? Liverpool have been very dominant. Dale says, I've just made my first money in Fortnite. I didn't even know you could do that on Fortnite. Martin says, will Brighton stay in the top 6 this season? It'd be incredible if they do, mate, but logically, well, not logically, I don't think they will, but it will be incredible if they do. Rudolph the Red says, Mark, you missed my super chat explaining a bit about the ancient astronaut theory. I'll go back, mate. Tony Shannon says, last chat, too expensive. God's cause is his own divine nature. Part of the nature includes existence. Things have being. God is being. Mic drop by Tony, potentially. Keeper gets hold of that. Grant Ross says, do you think Chelsea will win a trophy before Arsenal? I think those questions are really difficult to answer because Chelsea were in the Carabao Cup final last year. So Chelsea could win the Conference League, which is easier than the Champions League. So I think who will win the Premier League first is a more interesting question, to which the answer is, are Arsenal going to win the league this year? I don't think so. Will Chelsea be stronger next year? I think so. So you could make a case that Chelsea will win the title next before Arsenal, even though Arsenal at the moment look more likely. How many more bites of the cherry are they going to get before they drop off and Chelsea have their go? With Arsenal, it's a bit of a case of shit or get off the potty, isn't it? Because they would have had 2 titles if Man City didn't exist. David Knight says, if a girl asks you out on a date, should you pay? Up to you, David. Personally, I would, because that's just... Then again, I reckon that could be flipped around in the modern day as being sexist. Why are you offering to pay? I asked you out. You know, is it because traditionally the man always pays? So even politeness can now be deemed offensive. Oh, Pender over the bar. I think he was offside anyway. Yeah. Reece James or Luke Shaw, says Abhijit. Opposite positions, mate. Ollie says, should men dye their hair and beards jet black like Luton and Southampton managers? No. I've got grey hair down the side. I actually quite like it. I prefer my hair in my 40s to my 30s where it was just all brown. I found it a bit boring. I quite like having the... It's not quite highlights, but I quite like the shades. Has it been a close game with Liverpool, says R14. No, Liverpool have been the better side. First 10 minutes, it was very equal, and then Liverpool have shown their quality, to be fair. It's quite ominous for Arsenal. They're going to have to play very well on Sunday. JC says, can we do pineapple on pizza? We probably can. Condom or pills, says Eden. Whatever being or equation that made us is God, says Kyle. Have you watched the Penguin show, says Who to Blame? Not yet. And Colin S says that absolutely needs to be a clip. A screamer straight to the chicken. What was that, Colin? What was that? A screamer straight to the chicken. I don't know what that one was. I presume that's one of the goals. When's Luke Shaw back in training, says Tony. Apparently he was training individually today. Wolves TV says seatbelts on planes are useless as well. They're not. They're actually not. Did you not see that plane that hit turbulence and they didn't know it was going to hit turbulence, and a load of people just went boom up into the roof, and a couple of them got really badly injured. Rudolph the Red says the astronaut thing is basically that gods were actually extraterrestrials, but back then they didn't have the words to explain what they were seeing. There is more evidence. Watch Ancient Aliens, says Rudolph the Red. Ooh. So basically God was an ET, but back then they didn't have the words to explain what they were seeing. Why have they not come back then? Parker says, how did Company get the Bayern job? Did he go to a P. Diddy party? DGen X says, The Godfather or Scarface? Easily The Godfather. And Goldio says, is OnlyFans a respectable profession? Can you poll that? Well, Maguire has beaten Upamecano 59% to 41%. I'm going to do that for you, Goldio, because you've done a few super chats tonight. So only the good ones make it. Astrid Wet and her bots will be on here now. Maybe we will live on as AI one day, says Tom E. Oh, God. Well, we will. Some people will live on in AI. They already are. Like, there's already people in films that are being done in AI. If you're like Brad Pitt, you're going to live forever, aren't you? As AI. Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, they're going to be in films in 100 years' time. It's scary, I think. I'm not a big fan of AI. I think it's artificial. Evan says, should you wear socks to sleep? Not unless you're ill. JM says, do you want Seb to take over everything one day, says JM. Leipzig are in. Here we go. Sesko. Big save, Kelleher. Still in the box. Another shot. Side netting. I saw the net go. It goes for a corner. I tell you what, Kelleher has made a good save there, and he's been decent tonight, but Sesko should be scoring that. Still 20 minutes to go. Ali says, is Mark's background real or not? I can understand why people think it's not real, because I used to use a green screen. I get it, but why would you take a photo of something like that? And as you can see, it's real. Look, this is not some sort of computer-generated stuff. It's real. So there we go. Sometimes you have just got to touch it. Do you want Seb to take over everything one day? Oh, no, not really. Goal! Oh, what a save by Kelleher there. He's tipped it over the bar. He's having a good game. Simons has gone down, though. Let's have a look. Oh, he's just hurt himself from the shot. I mean, to be fair, you'd expect the keeper to save that. It just gets a bit of a deflection, actually, so he's done well tipping it over the bar. Do you want Seb to take over everything one day? I think it's very unlikely, and it's not always pleasant doing this as well. So I don't think I would want him to be honest. It's not like this. It's not like David Beckham being asked, "Do you want your kid to play football?" I mean, it's a special skill set to do that. I don't think it's even a skill set actually. I think that's arrogant to say that. I just think it's a mental. It's all new, you see. It's not the same as it was 10 years ago. Like the people who I was competing with 10 years ago, I probably have a lot of respect for now because it was more. It's a toxic mess now, really. Paul, have wokeness gone too far? Yes or no, says Rub. And yeah, but what is wokeness? I think that in itself is the problem, isn't it? What is that? Daniel says, I was just about to read it. What if I put Celtic in the Premier League to win it in AFC? You'd have to do it on amateur, mate. Dale says, are you bloody delighted that you beat Burnley? Good career mode stream today. I'm really enjoying it. I really had to work hard at it today if you've not watched it. Bump Gartner's coming on. I like him as a player. Emoji says, I'm shocked that Barcelona are winning 4-1 against Bayern. I don't think Vincent Kompany's a good coach. I think I could coach Bayern Munich. Grumpy old heckler says, can I have a bag of your old cement, of your best cement? Read the poll. What's the poll? Is OnlyFans a respectable profession? 20% say yes, 80% say no. Well, put it this way. I wouldn't want anyone in my family to be doing it. And if they said, well, look at the money, I'd say, mate, you know, money ain't everything. Anna says, I've got one, yes or no to female commentators. Well, I'll word it in a better way. It's a controversial one, but I can word it in a way that's fair. Do you like female commentators on men's football? Is that all right, Anna? It's a little less sort of antagonistic. Look, I don't really care. You vote what you say, vote what you like. My opinion on it is this. I think there are some female commentators. There's one who does Match of the Day that I've never liked. I just find her voice very, very annoying. But there is also a couple of other male ones on Match of the Day that I switch off as well. I just find if someone's got an annoying voice, I don't care. I think commentary is about the voice. You know, you look at, I know she's not a commentator, but you look at someone like Laura Woods, when she's presenting, or Gabby Logan, they're very listenable. So it's not for me. It's not a gender thing. It's a quality thing, not equality, quality. And what you shouldn't have in life, in my opinion, is you shouldn't put people on for quotas. Like, if you're good enough, you should get it, and that's in anything. And what becomes very frustrating in life, because I've had it in my life, is you go for a job, you know you're the best, but you don't get it because they want to put someone in that role that's a mate or what they believe is a quota. I hate that. Positive. Well, it's not positive discrimination because that's something else. Because I've gone for jobs and they've given it to a mate who's absolutely shit. That's disgusting. But so no, I don't think the problem. I don't think you can say, oh, I don't like women commentators commenting on men's football, unless you think that they're not capable of doing it. But why wouldn't they be capable of doing it? You know, Sam Matterface has never played football at the highest level. So I think it's about individuals. Do you like that female commentator? Do you like that male commentator? No, I don't. No, I don't. I like that one. Do you think we should bring Ben? Yeah, I'm not reading that, Ian. Do you think Tuchel will win the World Cup, says Charlie? I hope so. And James Guy says, I don't like most commentators, male or female. I think commentary's boring, actually, in a lot of football now. They've not evolved it in probably 60 years. I think the world is evolving how they consume things, and I think that you know, I'm not saying this is commentary on what we're doing here, but people like this way of watching football where they can have a chat and watch the game. And sometimes it's more in depth than this, and I think it should be more in depth than this when it's on mainstream. But they're not relatable people, I don't think. You can tell people like Matterface grew up listening to Motson and Davies, but it's 2024. You've got to evolve. You've got to be different. Kenneth says, what about only pans where you show off your pan collection? I genuinely thought that was real then. Dinner with Piers Morgan or 4 Man City Ultras, says Let's Go. I think dinner with Piers Morgan would be interesting, actually. Commentary became boring. Media training era, says Tim. Yeah. They're all terrified of what they can and can't say. Buster says, can foreigners live in any country? No problems. I don't know what you mean. Anyway, Do you like female commentators on men's football? Yes, 36%. No, 64%. What do you think about Yamal? Just amazing how he does what he does against the likes of Theo in the Euros and now Davies, says Tun. He's a very talented player, mate. I mean, very, very talented. Still Liverpool pushing here with 10 minutes to go. I mean, Leipzig have had their chances in the second half. Aaron Jones says, are movies and shows worse now than before? Movies are worse in the main. I think TV shows are better. Is Raya in for a shout as the best Premier League goalkeeper given Alisson's injury-prone nature, or does he still make too many silly mistakes, says Ash? Leipzig on the attack here. No, I still think Alisson's the best goalkeeper in the Premier League. I would argue that Martinez is the second. I think there's a case to put Raya as third. I've never really been a massive fan of Ederson. I just think he plays in the best team. David says, could you beat an ostrich in a fight? Easy. Actually, they are quite big and intimidating, and they're quite fast. I think if they knew what they're doing, they'd be a threat. But, you know what? Actually, I might have misjudged this. They are big. Ostriches are big. Here we go. I found it. Jordan Ridge. This is an absolute mic drop when it comes to controversial either-ors for the night. I don't think we'll get a better one than this. So a super chat came in a bit ago from Jordan Richardson, and I've kept it back till now. But here we go. Would you grass on your best mate if they committed a murder? And don't, look, it's not murdering an ant. This is like horrific, premeditated murder of a really nice person. So they've not like killed a drug dealer or something like that. They've literally killed a really innocent, nice person. It wasn't deserved, no. Lost for words says snitches get stitches. I tell you what, there's loyalty in. What about the innocent victim's family? And what about the innocent victim who's had their life cut short in their early 20s? And they've got kids, Dan. They've got kids. James says, if it's cold-blooded, how could you even be friends with him? Yeah, people in the chat are acting like I'm not a grass, and then you're down the pub with him, you know, watching the match, knowing that what he's bloody done. Or her. Could be a her. Women are violent too. Goal! There we go. Leipzig 1-1. Offside again. A Pender. He'd be furious with that. I don't even know how you're offside here. Shot comes in across the back. Keeper makes another good save, and Apenda's there for the tap-in. Yeah, well, he's offside there, and he's offside there. Yeah, he's got head of the play. It's one of those where you shouldn't be offside, but he is. Big chance. There we go. Ross County or Inverness, says Dale. I've always liked Ross County, the name, more. Buster says, can you put the question on a poll? That's what I meant, says Buster. Fan Zone was elite commentary, says Dean. Yeah, Fan Zone would be boring now on Sky, though, because they could never swear. They could never say anything really controversial. I think it would be really boring now. I think it was innovative of its time, but actually it would be very tame now. What would you do, Mark? Would you grass on your best mate for murder? if they killed somebody in cold blood on purpose, and that person was a nice person, I would, yeah, 100%. Why would you protect someone like that? I think there are circumstances where you might protect them, and I think we all know where they might be. If it's accidental, etc., you might do it. But we're talking cold-blooded, premeditated murder of somebody that doesn't deserve it. Well, where's the justice? This is what I mean. Controversial either ors. It's been a cracking show. I can't read your name, but somebody says, I'm Korean. What does grass mean? Well, it's stuff that cows eat, and it's also people who snitch or tell tales. Dean says snitches get stitches. Well, here's one for you, Dean, then. I didn't tell you this, but here's the twist, like inside number 9. Would you grass your mate if your best mate up if he committed murder? And the murder is he's just killed your girlfriend. Or boyfriend. Or dog. Somebody that you are absolutely in love with, your best mate's just murdered them. Give yourself stitches, because you're going to snitch. Hi, Mark. I know you hate City, but Haaland's second goal was acrobatic back heel. Reminds me of Zlatan. Yeah, well, you're the only one watching it, QWERTY. I couldn't give a toss about Man City. Boring, boring. You know who City are playing on Saturday as well? Southampton at the Etihad. I mean, if they sell that out, I'll applaud it myself. What a waste of time. That's the biggest waste of time of the season. They've already played Ipswich at home as well. I mean, who gives them the fixtures? I know, let's get Arsenal to play loads of difficult games at the start of the season. And let's get Man City at home against all the newly promoted teams. Rajan says the last 15 minutes have all been Leipzig. Before that, we were so comfortable. Well, they are. To be honest, I've never really felt that Liverpool wouldn't win this, but Leipzig have had a good go. Had a bad day. Taking one down. Well, I've thoroughly enjoyed the watch along tonight. Big up everybody who's got involved. Thanks everyone who subscribed. I think we did hit 263. I didn't actually double check. We were 10 away. So bottom right hand corner to subscribe. You're absolute legends. I'm really looking forward to the weekend streams. It's going to be really good against at Charlton on Saturday. And then obviously we've got Liverpool at Arsenal on Sunday, which I'll say it again. If Arsenal lose that game, they're out of the title race already. Oh, what a save. I tell you what, both keepers have been really good tonight. Gakpo's just hit a great shot. And another save from the Leipzig goalkeeper. Lovely stuff. What's worse, Mark's singing or Southgate's coaching? Thanks very much for your super chats, but I can't read what your actual name is because it's in Korean. Cyber Turkey says, should we ban Astrid Wet from X for promoting to kids? I mean, I think, you know, at the end of the day, I don't know what's happened to X. I stay on Twitter or X a lot for the football stuff, but you know the amount of tweets that just have the replies full of clips that are nothing to do with the tweet? That's what pisses me off. Jacko says, would you snitch on your best mate for infidelity? Depends who it's with. No. Primarily, I would say no, but Man City are winning 5-0. Matthew McFadden says, Twitter's lost its identity. It's full of bots. It is full of bots, actually. Football Twitter's still reasonably good, but it's not as good as it was. And that's the problem with AI and stuff. Like, it's social media is losing its identity. What's real and what's not anymore? You know, 10 years ago, certainly 5 years ago, when you were on, like, Twitter, you knew primarily the only thing you needed to worry about was whether it's, you know, a picture of Martial's boots or whatever. It could be bloody anybody, couldn't it? But now, it genuinely is just a load of fucking shite. Facebook football is the worst, says Mr. Bungle. Rajar says, are you seeing the Barcelona game? I haven't had it on for a few minutes because it's been game over for quite a while there, hasn't it? But it's a fantastic result for Barcelona. I mean, look, I actually said the Bundesliga is stronger than La Liga. I mean, how can I seriously say that when Bayern Munich and Dortmund are getting battered? Both of them in Spain, though, to be fair. I mean, that could be their argument. I would have had Real Madrid and Barcelona as favourites. Does Final Destination exist when you avoid death, says Ben Thornton? No. It's just a bloody film series, mate. Seb becoming a Liverpool player or a City player. If that was his only pathway to playing top-level football, I wouldn't care. Because I've said before, I'd have played for City or Liverpool if it was the opportunity to have 10 years playing at the highest level. The dream would be to play for Manchester United, but if the only opportunity to play professional football was to play for Liverpool or Man City, I'd do it. Might be in the minority, but I'm not going to lie to sound loyally brilliant. I would. I genuinely don't understand people that wouldn't take, if their only option to play high-end Premier League football is to play for Liverpool or Man City, and you're saying no. Well, enjoy your job at Tesco. You know, 100% I'd do it. I desperately wanted to be a professional footballer, and obviously I desperately wanted to play for Manchester United. But if somebody had said to me, you'll never play for Man United, but you'll have 10 years playing for Man City or Liverpool, I'd say, sign me up. Do it. I don't care if people clip it or moan about it. I'm just being honest. I really desperately wanted to be a professional footballer when I was growing up. Willie says, Halloween or Easter? Oh, look, I've never really been a big fan of Easter. Which is weird because I do like chocolate, but I've never really been a big fan of it. Maybe it's the time of year. I just prefer Halloween. I like this time of the year, like Tom Peacock says. Top 8 Champions League is pretty Premier League heavy so far, says Kyla. Yeah, I was just going to have a quick look at that. Laxfish has just changed their name so we can read it. I'll change my name to my Instagram handle. Thank you very much. So let's have a look at the table of the Champions League as it stands. Villa and Liverpool are at the top with 9. Man City are third with 7. Arsenal are 8th with 7. There are actually 6 teams on 7 points. There are Sporting's got 7, Leverkusen's got 7, Brest have got 7, and Monaco have got 7. So 2 French clubs. I mean, have they played shit teams? could be an argument. Brest. Where is Brest? I can't see Brest or Monaco here. Why am I not getting them two? Tuesday the 1st of October. Monaco. No, not there. Wednesday the 2nd. Monaco drew with Dinamo Zagreb. It's very trying to find all these results. Oh, Brest beat Salzburg 4-0. And then Monaco beat Red Star Belgrade 5-1. And Brest beat Sturm Graz and yeah, I think they've some teams have had easier games than others, haven't they? Real is a fan of Brest. I think everybody. Mark, what's the best goal? I said that in a bit of a funny way. What's the best goals to shoot in, 11s or 7s, says Ahmad. 11s. Monaco beat Barcelona, says Addy. Who beat Real Madrid? Was that... who beat Real Madrid? Because they've lost the game, haven't they? It's over anyway. Liverpool have beaten Leipzig 1-0. Leipzig certainly had their chances, look. They had 13. But I think Liverpool, over the course of the game, probably just about deserved it. Lille beat Real Madrid. Thank you very much for that in the chat. They've beaten both Madrid teams, says Retro. Where are Lille? I know they're in France, but where are they in the groups? They've got 6 points. Real Madrid have got 6. Dortmund have got 6. Barcelona have got 6. It's, to be honest, it's starting to get a little bit better now we've had 3 games of it, but top 8 could get quite interesting. You know, look, it's the first, like yesterday I wasn't loving it. Today I'm sort of like, maybe it will get better the more games we have from games 3 in. Let's see. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Don't forget Manscaped, 20% off, free worldwide shipping. Links in the description, or you can scan that QR code. With the code FOOTY, you get 20% off and free worldwide shipping. Get that delivered to your door. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Fantastic couple of hours tonight. Really enjoyed it. Hope you have as well. And when is Nice playing Brest, says Rub. Well, they play each other every year, but I know what you're on about. It's twice a year as well. Anyway, take care. Fantastic show tonight. Really enjoyed it. Football and the either-ors as well. And I'll speak to you all tomorrow. And don't forget to tune in on Saturday afternoon live for our Charlton Athletic at Charlton Athletic Saturday 3 p.m. watch-alongs. Speak to you all in a bit.